Hello students, today we start a new topic, types of ground floor in module number 4, building components. And today we discuss on this topic of types of ground floor and discuss in details. There are the different types of the ground floor depending on a material and also used in different buildings. So we start our topic. So here types of ground floor, there are many types of the floor which are probably used in a building structure like a residential, commercial, public building, and here list of the ground floor is given. So here total 7 types of the ground floor is generally construct in a residential, industrial and commercial building or public building. So first is a brick flooring, second is a flex flooring, third one is a tile, cement, concrete flooring, fourth one is a granolithic flooring, and fifth one is a terrazzo flooring, and sixth one is a marble flooring, and seventh is a timber flooring. Now we start with the first brick flooring. So here there are two methods of the brick flooring. So here method number 1. So in this method the flooring of the method number 1 is the earth is filled under the floor and is compact properly, and after getting the well compacted earth surface, a layer of the cement concrete or lime concrete about 100 to 150 mm in a thickness is laid over the entire compacted portion of the floor, and cement concrete of a proportion of 1:8:16 or a lime concrete layer is called as a subgrade is placed on over it. And at the time of making the subgrade, it is essential to maintain the proper slope for the purpose of the floor washing, and before laying the brick on a subgrade, bricks should be soaked in a water or wetted with water so that the water from the thick mortar bed will not be absorbed by the brick, and such a way the strength of the mortar will not get affected. So here one of the figure of the brick flooring is given. So here in a brick flooring, first means bottom layer is a compacted earth filling. So here earth is properly compacted by the sprinkling water and with by forcefully pressured, and then after above the compacted earth filling, subgrade is laid on a compacted earth filling. So here subgrade is a cement concrete or a lime concrete with a thickness of the 100 to 150 mm thickness. So 100 to 150 means 10 to 15 centimeter thick layer of the cement concrete or lime concrete is placed over it, and then after above the cement or lime concrete 12 mm thick mortar is placed over cement concrete, and then after brick is laid over on a subgrade, and all the joints of a brick is filled with mortar. So here mortar proportion is 1:6. We take a cement mortar proportion for filling the joints of the bricks. Now here second method. So in this method number 2, the subgrade is compacted in a proper way up to the required level, and then the thick layer of the sand about 75 mm is spread over the subgrade. So here method number 2, sand is required in place of the concrete. So on the thick layer of the sand, base course is formed by laying the coarse brick flat in a mortar, and then over the base course the brick flooring is laid in a bed cement mortar or a lime mortar about 12 mm thick in a required pattern, in a good looking pattern. So here see in this figure, so first compacted earth filling, we sprinkle the water and compact the earth, then after above the compacting earth, sand spread over the subgrade. So here sand is placed of a 75 mm thick, and above the sand layer brick is laid over in a desired pattern. So here brick is directly placed here, no any type of the concrete work is done. So directly brick is laid on a sand layer. Now next type of the flooring is a flagstone flooring. So laminated sandstone is termed as a flagstone or a stone slab. So flagstone or a stone slab are available in the form of the 20 mm thick to 40 mm thickness, and in the form of the square size 300 by 300, 450 mm by 450 mm and 600 mm by 600 mm, or in the form of the rectangular size of a 450 mm by 600 mm. So a different size of the available, and in a different thickness is available for a flagstone or a stone slab. So see this initially the subgrade soil is well compacted, and then the lime concrete or a cement concrete of 100 to 150 mm thick is laid over the well compacted subsoil. Then the layer of the lime concrete or a cement concrete is called a base course of the floor, and then the flagstone or a stone slab are laid over it of the layer of bed mortar with a 20 to 25 mm thickness. And work of laying the flagstone is started from the two opposite corners which are diagonally located, and the laying of a flagstone are brought up from the both the side for a proper or correct leveling. A string is held pulled between the two corners of the stone slab. So here other piece of the flagstone are laid with respect to the level stretching string for keeping the stone slab in a proper position, and a wooden rectangular batten piece is used to fix the stone. So after laying the stone slab, the mortar in the joints of the stone slab are raked out and tools up to a depth of 15 mm to 20 mm. Now then the joints are filled with a cement mortar having a proportion of 1:3, and flush point it at the top. A gentle slope is properly given to the floor surface for proper draining of the water at the time of washing. Now at the last the complete floor work is well cured so as to obtain an optimum strength of the flooring. So here figure is given. So in this figure you exactly seen here compacted subsoil is first layer of the flagstone flooring. After compacting the soil, 100 to 150 mm concrete bed is provided. So here concrete bed is with a ratio of the 1:4:8, and above the concrete mortar bed of the 15 mm thickness is provided. So here mortar is only made with a cement and water and sand, and then after flagstone or a stone slab is fixed above it, and all the gaps between the flagstone is filled up with a cement mortar with ratio of the 1:3. Now next is tile cement concrete flooring. So this is the most common type of the flooring used in a residential, commercial, public, even industrial building. Now it consists of four components. First is component is a sub base, second is a base course of a cement concrete, third is a thick lime surki mortar, and fourth one is a bearing surface of tiles like mosaic tiles or kota stone or Shahabad tiles. So here in a sub base is prepared by compacting soil properly so as to obtain the hard surface. Now here second is the base course or cement concrete. So the base course is made of the cement concrete with a proportion of the 1:3:6 to 1:5:10, and it may be 75 to 100 mm thickness is given, and the base course of the cement concrete is laid over a well compacted soil and it is properly cured. When the base course cement concrete has hardened, its surface is cleaned by the stiff broom, and it is wetted the previous night and excessive water is gained. Now third point is the thick lime surkhi mortar. So the base course of the 50 to 80 mm thick lime mortar with a ratio of the 1:3 means 1 part of the lime and 3 part of sand or surkhi is sprayed to fix the tiles, and the bedding mortar is allowed to be hardened for 12 to 24 hours. And fourth point is wearing surface of the tiles like mosaic tiles or Kota stone. So then the next process is to make a wearing surface like tiles work. Before laying the tiles like mosaic tiles, Kota stone tiles, etc., the neat cement slurry is sprayed over the bedding mortar, and then tiles are laid on a flat or gentle, pressing them by the wooden hammer and level it properly for water is removed easily. Note that before the laying the tiles, thin paste of the cement is applied on their bottom side for getting the proper fixing or grip over the entire area, and next day the joint between the tiles are cleaned by the taking out of the loose mortar and then after this gap is filled with a cement slurry. Here different types of the colored cement is generally used. So then the after filling the gaps or joints, flooring is cured with cured for 7 days, and after curing for the 7 days, grinding or polishing done by the machine. So here in a tiles work, no any type of the polishing is required or a grinding is required. In a Kota stone or a marble or a granite, grinding or polishing is required after 7 days. So see this figure. In this figure, cross section area or a cross section part of the cross section part of tile cement concrete flooring is given. So here first layer is a sub base course, so compacted subsoil or is provided. Then after base course or a cement concrete is provided with a 75 to 100 mm thickness, and then after lime mortar is sprayed over it on a base course, and then after tiles is fixed above the lime mortar, and after fixing the tiles, all the joints or a gap between the tiles is filled with cement mortar or a colored cement, and then after sprinkling water for 7 days or a 7 days curing is required. Now next type of the flooring is a granolithic flooring. So it is the typical type of the flooring. Granolithic flooring is a finished coat done on the concrete surface so as to obtain a hard, durable and abrasive resistance flooring, and granolithic coat is made of the cement, sand and aggregate which are specially selected. Note that the grading of the aggregate play a very important role in such a type of the floor. So here coarse aggregate can be obtained from the natural occurring stone like basalt or limestone or quartzite, which are graded from the 30 mm to IS sieve number 240. So here proportion of the cement, sand and aggregate we take a 1:1:2 or a 1:1:3 or a 1:1:2. Proportion of the concrete mix means 1 part of the cement, 1 part of the sand and 2 part of the specially graded aggregate. Now initial base course is laid over the compacted soil surface, and then when the base concrete is properly set, then the only granolithic concrete is laid over it, and which give monolithic construction. And when the concrete mix of granolithic flooring is laid over the base concrete, then the surface is finished by tamping and floated with the help of wooden float and a smooth surface is obtained by the steel trowel. And this type of the flooring is more economically and especially for used for a low cost housing scheme where the flooring covering material is more costlier. Now next type of the flooring is a terrazzo flooring. So because of the decorative appearance and a good weathering surface, terrazzo flooring is very popular, and hence it is moreover commonly used in a residential, school, office, hospital, banks, buildings, etc. Now terrazzo is a mixture of the special aggregate like marble chips or any other decorative material of the white cement or colored cement taken in a proportion of the 3:1. So here 3 is a 3 part of the marble chips and 1 is a 1 part of cement. Now terrazzo is laid over the concrete in a different thickness, and overall thickness we take a terrazzo flooring is 40 mm. The overall 40 mm thickness of the terrazzo flooring consists of a 6 mm thick layer of the terrazzo and 34 mm thick under the layer of the cement concrete taken in a proportion of the 1:2:4. Now before laying of the flooring, the complete area is split up into the suitable panel with the help of strips and made of copper, brass, aluminum or glass in order to avoid the risk of the cracking. Not that the thickness of dividing the thickness should not be less than 1.5 mm and its width should not less than 25 mm and area of the panel should not more than 2 meters square. Here the procedure for preparing the subbase of the subbase and laying of the base concrete is same as in a tiles concrete cement flooring. So here subbase is properly compacted or a well compacted layer of the soil, and base course is a mixture of the cements and aggregate of a proportion of the 1:3:6 or a 1:2:4, and the properly consolidated level finish and a hardened prepared surface of the base concrete should be cleaned properly by removing the dust, dirt or loose mortar, and then the surface is wetted. Now before laying the terrazzo, wet surface of the base concrete is sprinkled with the coat of neat cement slurry in order to obtain a proper bonding in between the base concrete and a terrazzo layer. Now the prepare of the plastic terrazzo mixture is laid over the coat of neat cement slurry and compacted thoroughly by tamping or rolling. A care should be taken at the time of the tamping and rolling such that at least 80% of the finished surface should show the marble chips over the exposed surface, and if not seen, additional marble chips can be added at the time of the tamping rolling so as to obtain the desired coat. So after this, the surface is floated of 12 and kept it to dry for 15 to 18 hours, and then it is properly cured for 5 to 7 days. So after curing, it gives the surface of terrazzo, which is further first grinding by the grinding machine by use of the carborundum stone of the coarse grade of number 16, and after grinding the surface of terrazzo, it is washed by the using plenty of water. Now if any holes and pores are seen over the surface, then these all pores are filled with cement grout of a same color that has been already used in preparing the surface. Now after grouting the holes and pores, it is allowed to dry for 2 days, and then it is cured for 5 to 7 days, and then second grinding is done by the grinding machine. Use the carborundum stone of a fine grade of number 120, and then the surface is washed with water. If the hole is pores then still seen, again the same procedure is carried out, and then the surface is subjected to third grinding machine by having a carborundum stone of a 320 grit size number 320. And now finally finish the surface of the washed with diluted oxalic acid. So here in the next slide you exactly seen the compact terrazzo flooring. So here compacted subsoil, above the compacted subsoil base course concrete of a 34 mm thickness is laid, and above 34 mm thickness of the concrete layer, marble chips with cement mixture is laid over it. It's called a terrazzo mix of the 6 mm thickness, and after terrazzo laying on a concrete, terrazzo is properly compacted, and then after properly after drying it is after drying it is properly polished, and here for a 5 to 7 days curing is required. Now next type of the flooring is a marble flooring. So marble flooring is used in a residential building, hospital, temples, etc., and generally marble is generally used in to make a statue of the god, and where the superior type of the flooring where the extra cleanliness is essential requirement. The size of the marble slab to be used in a flooring depends upon the pattern to be adopted. So here different size of the marble is available, and a large size of the marble is available, but we cut the marble as per our requirement, and the slab for the normal work are a square or rectangular in a shape, and the thickness is varies from 20 mm to 40 mm. So generally we use the 20 mm thick marble in a residential building. So the base concrete is prepared over the base concrete of the 20 mm thick bedding mortar of 1:4 ratio. So here one part of the cement and 4 part of the sand is sprayed over it, and the marble slab is laid on the top of the bedding mortar and pressed and tamped with a wooden hammer. So it is and the marble slab is then again lifted up, and fresh mortar is added to the hollows of a bedding mortar. So after the bedding mortar is hardened slightly, cement slurry is sprayed over it, and the same at the rate of the 4.4 kg of the cement per square meter, and the edges of the already laid slab are slab with a cement slurry placed, and then marble slab in a question in place is in a position and tapped with a wooden metal and tilted properly bedded in a level with a adjoining slab, and joint between the two slab are very fine, so it is filled up by the white cement, and after filling the white cement it is cured for 7 days, and here in a marble flooring polishing is required. Now here we use the polish machine for the getting the good appearance. After polishing we got a smooth surface of a marble flooring. Now next type of the flooring is a timber flooring. So the climate is damp and timber is easily available in hilly areas, and in such areas the timber flooring become more economical, and because of this reason timber flooring is commonly is in use. Timber flooring are not more commonly at the other place. However, the timber flooring are used for the dancing hall, auditorium and carpentry halls. So here Due to damp climate condition, prevention of the dampness is broadly considered in a timber flooring. So in this type of the flooring, the complete area of the ground below the floor is covered with a cement concrete bed of a 150 thick layer, and this 150 thick layer of the cement concrete is termed as a side concrete or a overside construction. So in this figure you exactly seen here cement concrete bed above the above well compacted sub base, cement concrete bed is laid over it and with a ratio of the 1:4:8, and above concrete bed sleeper wall is provided, and the DPs is provided, and sleeper wall of a wooden is provided, and braiding joint is provided. Above the braiding joint boarding is provided. So these are the steps for prepare the timber flooring. Here topic of the types of ground floor is finished. Thank you.